Hello and welcome to another episode of Carousel of Douglas. It's nice to have you along with us on our journey, and today we're going to be talking about our day 4 of our 2020 trip to Walt Disney World. And on day 4, we went to Hollywood Studios. I'm looking forward to sharing this with you, so come along with us. Now, before we get to the park, I want to talk about why we chose to take a lift instead of the regular transportation. It actually stemmed from what we witnessed on day 2. I'll put that video in right here. So that day, we got to the park on day 2, and people have been waiting to get to Hollywood Studios since like 8:30. And they were trying to get there at like 10:15, they finally got a bus. And because at the time, the Rise of the Resistance boarding passes were opening up at 10, and you had to be in the park, we decided, because we only had the one day, that we were going to get a lift instead. So we took a lift, and our driver was incredible. I felt very safe in his car. His car was very clean. We pulled up to the parking lot and actually had to sit for a little bit because we got there so early. We probably got the car around 8:45 a.m. and then we were at the park by 9 a.m. and we actually had to sit and wait until they opened the gates, probably around 9:15. But it didn't take long from getting into the parking lot and being dropped off by our lift and then getting into the turnstiles, and then we went straight back to Slinky Dog. And I'll talk about that right now with a little video from Michelle and I.
And we're already in Slinky Dog. And we last time, just so you know, the last time we rope dropped this, we stopped by the Woody sign. We are almost up to the front, and we're well after they had opened the gates. So that's how things are going. What are your thoughts?
I'm excited.
You're excited? Yeah. All right. So we'll have more tips later.
Yeah, that video was from about 9:35 in the morning. The park wasn't supposed to open until 10, but we were on the ride by 9:47, and I gotta say, I love Slinky Dog. We've been on it a couple times now. We haven't ridden it as much as we would have liked, but it's still extremely popular. But we walked on it that day, and I just like, it's very smooth. I like the action. I like the theming. I love the little like restart in the middle. It's just a really, really fun ride. You kind of go through it, and I especially love Wheezy at the end, singing You've Got a Friend in Me. It's so much fun. Again, that is a great ride, and Slinky Dog is totally worth the time to get in that line sometimes. All right, so we got off Slinky Dog, and we were like, okay, it's time to do a Rise of Resistance boarding pass. So we went over by the bathrooms. I'll show like the view that we had so you know exactly where we were. The bathrooms in Toy Story Land, which kind of face Alien Swirling Saucers and the giant Buzz statue. I did a whole video on getting a Rise of the Resistance boarding pass with my 5 quick tips. I'll put that in right here. All right, so that was easy. We got boarding group number 39, and we're like, okay, it's time for the rest of our day. So we actually headed straight from there right over to Alien Swirling Saucers, and I'll just play that a reaction from Michelle. It's perfect.
How do you feel?
Woohoo! Yeah, Alien Swirling Saucers. It's a lot of fun. It's a silly little carnival ride that they spruced up with really good, like, digitized versions of Toy Story music, and the aliens swirling you around and saying, ew, over and over again, and it's a lot of fun. It's silly, and the best part is, even though it goes around in circles, Michelle doesn't get motion sick. And that was actually we actually got on it based on a tip from a cast member. We asked the cast member. She said, people rarely complain about motion sickness on that ride. So that was good to know, and now you know. All right, I know a lot of people probably think I'm crazy for saying this, but I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and we avoided Galaxy's Edge for the first part of the day, mainly because everybody went there. I mean, you could see it from that Toy Story Land entrance that it was just packed full of people. I mean, the Millennium Falcon line was already out by Alien Swirling Saucers, and we're like, you know what? We're gonna wait. We want to have an experience when it's less crowded, and I really just wanted to take it in. So we waited on going to Galaxy's Edge. We walked over to Sunset Boulevard. We stopped at the Starbucks, of course, because, you know, my wife has her coffee thing, and I have my tea thing, and we just need to do it. And we also got the carrot cake cookie. Oh, the carrot cake cookie. Oh, I love it. Sorry, I digress. But we headed down Sunset Boulevard. I love that view of the Hollywood Tower Hotel, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, whatever you ever want to call it. I love that view down Sunset. But you better believe we then did Michelle's favorite ride in Hollywood Studios, Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, I love Rock and Roller Coaster, but Michelle, she constantly says it's her favorite. It's so thrilling, and I love the black lights and the zooming and the spinning and the flipping, and it's so good. Rock and Roller Coaster, just amazing. Go ahead and do that. Following the Rock and Roller Coaster, we went to go see the Grand Floridian Society Orchestra. They were playing a little mini concert of Disney tunes in the Beauty and the Beast Theater. That's kind of what they were filling it in at the time. Unfortunately, Grand Floridian Society Orchestra got laid off. I'm hoping they didn't get laid off permanently. I think it is permanent. It's kind of sad. They played a little bit from the Muppet theme. Check it out. Yeah, those guys are just awesome. I'm really hoping that they get to come back because they played a whole set of all this great Disney music, and it was just lovely. And so Grand Floridian Society Orchestra, if you ever see this, I think you're amazing, and I really hope you get to come back to Disney someday. So like I said before, I absolutely love Star Wars, and so we walked over Sunset Boulevard. We kind of left because Hollywood Tower of Terror was really packed full of people, and we decided not to wait in that line. And so I went over to Star Tours over on Grand Avenue and just love that ride. The theming inside is great. I love the little sequence between C-3PO and R2-D2. I love the security robot checking the bags. That part's a lot of fun. It's very interactive, and if you catch it right and your magic band's in the right place, you'll be like part of the scanned baggage. It's kind of fun. And Star Tours is just a great ride. Michelle doesn't ride that one. I always do it solo. She gets super motion sick on those 3D glasses with the shaking ride, so I do that one solo. And she went and just chilled out because it was really, really hot that day. So Michelle and I are huge Muppets fans. We've been Muppets fans since the Muppet Show came on when we were kids, and we absolutely loved watching that. And we both personally must do the Muppet Vision 3D show. And if you haven't done it in a while, it's really worth it. The pre-show is one of the best in all of the parks. And then the show itself is so fun and so interactive. It's way better than so many of the other 4D kind of adventures that they do. And I love the Swedish Chef in the back and the spirit of 3D and all that fun stuff. You really got to check out that show especially if you're a Muppets fan, but if you just like that really, really immersive show, as if you're actually in the Muppets theater, you got to go see it. All right, by this point in time, our Rise of the Resistance boarding group was getting closer and closer for us to be in. I think we had about an hour or so before we were able to get on it. And so we decided, all right, it's time. Let's see how Galaxy's Edge is. And oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, seriously. It's probably one of the best themed things I've ever seen. I did a walkthrough of it just to kind of soak it all up, and I couldn't believe how incredibly themed it was. This is my first time getting to see it since they opened it, and I was just blown away. I mean, the Millennium Falcon, you walk up to the Millennium Falcon and you're like, oh my God, there it is. There's the Millennium Falcon. And I just can't talk enough about how much I was just blown away by Galaxy's Edge, just walking in, especially since I've been a Star Wars fan. The very first movie I can remember watching was Return of the Jedi. I'm dead serious. That's the very first movie I personally remember being in the theater and seeing was Return of the Jedi. And the just incredible nature of that show. Although I will tell you, I did finally get to try a Ronto wrap.
So I've heard everything about these Ronto wraps is amazing. I'm about to find out. Oh. Oh yeah. That's good stuff. Ronto wraps. Definitely worth it.
While we were eating at Ronto's Roasters, we got the notification that our boarding group was ready to go. So off we went to Rise Resistance. Now, I'm going to show a little bit of footage from the queue and stuff like that, but I didn't film the ride because I wanted to experience it. I have never been on it. I wanted to experience it. I didn't film the ride. I did film some of the queue stuff, and I'll put that in now. But I will tell you that the best way to sum up my reaction is playing my reaction in the Stormtrooper room. Check this out. I mean, seriously, I have never felt that I was more in a ride than I have with Rise of Resistance. Rise of Resistance is now my #1 ride in Walt Disney World. It was Flight of Passage. Sorry, Flight of Passage. Rise of the Resistance. Oh my goodness. It's just incredible. I can't put it into words. It's incredible. You got to ride it. Next, I want to talk about Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. We were very privileged in the park. I have a very good friend from my drum corps days who was working as a supervisor and trainer on Smuggler's Run. And so he actually got us into the queue. We didn't go through the main queue. We actually went through the Fast Pass side and got past the line. That was really great of him. Thank you very much to our cast member friend, Bill. Thank you very much, Bill. You're awesome. Good luck with all your future endeavors. We actually got to walk into the ride, and the part with Hondo Anaka blew me away. I mean, that animatronic was incredible, but then when you actually go into the space of the Millennium Falcon where everything is, it's, I mean, oh my goodness. It was just, I felt like I was on the Millennium Falcon. And then Michelle and I got our own cockpit because at the time that's what they were doing. There was no plexiglass in the ride. So we were both pilots. We did terribly. That's okay. But the ride itself is a lot of fun. You kind of really get a good sense that you're actually flying the Millennium Falcon. So if you haven't been on it, you got to do it. So that kind of ended our time in Galaxy's Edge. So I just want to play this for you. This is our reaction after kind of being able to soak it in. So check this out. So Galaxy's Edge, thoughts?
Amazing. It lives up to all the hype. Everything is so cool, like down to the details in the bathroom. It's also cool.
What about Rise of the Resistance?
That was awesome.
And Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run?
It was better than I was expecting. I wasn't looking forward to that one as much.
That's cool. And you were a good pilot.
Can't wreck it completely.
That's probably, yeah, that's true. So, Rise of the Resistance is absolutely incredible. Oh, and just so you know, we are stationary to eat and drink like we're supposed to be, okay? But we are, yeah, Rise of the Resistance was absolutely incredible. The details and all that stuff is just amazing, and yeah, I couldn't have done a better job with that. The part with the part with the walkers was incredible. The only thing that was like my only complaint right now is because of all this stuff is that we got rushed through the room with the stormtroopers. Yeah, I took a little quick video in there, but that's the amount of time I was allowed to be in there, which is the only thing. So other than that, Rise of Resistance is great. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run was fun. Unfortunately, Michelle got a little bit motion sick on it, but other than that, it was great. And we got to see my good friend Bill, who works the ride, and he really hooked us up. So he's amazing. So thanks again, Bill. And yeah, Galaxy's Edge. Oh my God. Galaxy's Edge. Oh my God. It's amazing.
After Galaxy's Edge, we went back to Toy Story Land because we hadn't done Midway Mania yet. And there's a little important message that Michelle wants you to know.
We're about to do Midway Mania. What happens on Midway Mania, Michelle? Every time.
That's right. Every time. I actually got close this time. I have never beaten her. And we've been riding it since it opened. I have never beaten her. We don't know why, because she's not really a video game person, but I've never beaten her. She's amazing. After we did Toy Story Mania, we went back to Sunset Boulevard because we noticed in the app that Hollywood Tower of Terror was very low on the wait time. So we walked all the way back to Sunset. It was right. It was still low. We pretty much walked right on. I love that lobby. It's so well themed, especially with the spooky music in the background. And we pretty much walked right on the ride. Tower of Terror is just incredible. And Twilight Zone, I love the old episodes of Twilight Zone. I watch them all the time. And they did a great job of making their own Disney-fied version of it. I love Tower of Terror. And even if you're scared of heights, really, it's not that bad. I promise you should just try it. You'll love it. You'll love it. At this point, we were getting later on in the afternoon, and we actually found that probably because a lot of people didn't get the 2 p.m. boarding groups, again, see my tips, I'm telling you they'll work, they had left the park. So it was kind of really emptying out. We walked right on, again, Rock and Roller Coaster, and that was a lot of fun for the second time. And we actually got front row on that one. We love front row on that ride. And then we went back over to Star Tours for me because I wanted to do Star Tours one more time. And we walked through Galaxy's Edge one more time just to kind of see it. And then we finally got to do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Oh my goodness, is that ride just a lot of fun. And we walked through the line. It took us a while. It was about 40 minutes. We got on the ride, got off the ride, and then realized we still had 5 minutes before the park closed, so they hadn't shut the line off yet. So we got in again, and we rode it again. Check out what we thought.
So real quick, we just rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We're about to ride it again, right before the park closes, because we want to do it. What do you think, Michelle?
It was a lot of fun. I like the new idea on the ride that I'm sad that's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie ride too, but a lot of fun. Really, really a lot to see. That's why we're doing it again.
Yeah, probably one of the best things they could have done to the Great Movie Ride was replace it with this ride. They did a really good job of utilizing that huge space back there. I do miss Great Movie Ride. I have a huge poster of it down in my basement, and it's just one of those things that I will miss, but Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is a great replacement for it. I can't complain. The theming is great. The brightness of the colors is awesome. I love the way the ride vehicles move. They're just like the ride vehicles in Rise of Resistance. Just a great, fun family ride. You got to do that one too. I cannot recommend that one more highly for families. All right, when we got off Mickey's Runaway Railway, well, unfortunately, at the time, the park was closed. It was closing way earlier that time of year. And so we then had reservations at Topolino's Terrace, at the Riviera Resort, which you'd never seen. And we'd also never been on the Skyliner. So now we had an excuse to get on the Skyliner. And wow, oh my goodness, do I think the Skyliner is incredible. I mean, check it out. Coming in for a landing.
Please remain seated until the doors automatically open. When exiting the cabin, please supervise children, collect your belongings, and watch your step.
That was
Thank you for flying with us.
That was a really awesome trip. I liked it. Check this out. We're coming into the station. Michelle, what'd you think?
That's fun.
That's fun. I like this. This is a great way to transport. Awesome. Good job, Disney. So when we get to the Riviera Resort, I gotta tell you that resort is incredible looking. It's not so strongly Disney themed, so if you like a really strongly Disney themed hotel, this one may not be for you, but it's pretty amazing. I especially love the tile work in the main entrance. There's 2 really, really awesome sets of tiles that are just kind of go over the archway, and you really got to see those. I mean, the detail in those is just amazing. And then we went up to Topolino's Terrace, and we stopped at the lounge there because we were a little early for our reservation, and they were really, really friendly, and just the service was great. We got our table, and I gotta tell you that the food for me was pretty good. It was amazing. I had an amazing steak that night. Michelle flat out stated that it was her favorite restaurant on property in one try. And for Michelle to say that is incredible. And the view from the terrace, the actual terrace it's named for, out into the world was amazing, and the atmosphere is perfect. The music was just loud enough that you could still have a decent conversation, but you could enjoy it. And never have I been in a new Disney restaurant like that and instantly loved it that much. It was incredible. So I highly recommend. It's worth the 2 dining credits when the dining plan returns, and it's probably worth the cost of the meal too, just for the view alone, as well as for the service and the amazing food. All right, folks, there you have it. Our day 4 trip to Hollywood Studios. We packed a lot into that day. I cannot tell you how much we loved our day at Hollywood Studios. Rise of Resistance was incredible. We got to do everything we wanted to do that day that was open, and just wow. Riviera, Topolino's Terrace, the Skyliner, an amazing day. Now, if you really like this video, I would really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. If you think this video was pretty awesome and you want to see more of my stuff, like that Rise to Resistance tips video, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get more notifications after hitting that subscribe button, please hit the bell icon. It really does help the channel out. And like I've said in all my other videos, I'm not going to say goodbye because I don't like to say that, because I'm going to see you real soon. So, see you, bye.
Thank you.